Hello everyone and welcome to the final stream of 2024. What are we gonna play today? Well, the community decided on this. The Espiode Chronicles. This stream is dedicated to Naomi and I'll show you in a bit why. This is Honeypop 2. She actually chose these free games. I said to her, you have the chance of putting up free games which will battle in a poll. And the Espiode Chronicles 1, she put up Honeypop 2, one of my favorites. The Espiode Chronicles, one of my other favorites, and Life is Strange, which was a game that I don't have yet, but I do want to get to at one point. I think it's on my to get list. Is that a thing? On my wish list, basically. It's quite a cheap game, and I've heard a ton of good stuff on it. So yeah, that's what I want to do as well. Hold on. There we go. I think I don't have to speak as loud anymore right now because I just upped the gain a little on my bearing or whatever the fuck that thing is called. Honestly, I have no idea. The mic amp. So, I did this game a while ago. What happened? Oh, disconnected with the controller because I'm not using the controller. Well, that's fucked. Working on it. There we go. Okay. So, the reason why this stream is dedicated to Naomi is because this is her... she's cancer-free. So, I wanted to do something in dedication to her, or to whatever, however you say that in English. I do apologize if I if I cough a lot tonight, because I'm still not 100% yet after my flu issue. So, yeah. We were... where were we? There we go. We were in England. Chapter 3, Part 2, for what I can remember. And we were looking for a culprit that killed somebody in a carriage. I have no idea where we were, because the last time I did this was... I think it was... 2-3 months ago. It's been a while, so yeah. Go ahead, Mr. First. Well, the thing is, I think I remember seeing it myself, as it happens. Seeing what? The blood, sir, on the assailant's hand. I think... Yes. I'm almost sure that it was on both his hands, not just one. I know I'm supposed to talk English, but if everybody speaks English, then there's not really any anything to look forward to. What? It would appear that we're going to need further testimony from all you witnesses. This time I would like to know precisely what you did and what you did not see. Do I make myself perfectly clear? This is good news. The course of the trial seems to have shifted slightly at last. I might finally have a chance to turn this thing around here. Do you? I have no idea where I was, so, there was blood on the assailant, on both hands of the assailant. I silently distinctly remember that. However, I suppose you might say that I didn't see the exact moment of stabbing inspired, if that matters. Well, that kind of matters, yeah. If you are to be a crown witness and you don't have jack shit in terms of testimony, then you're not the crown witness, because you don't have the smoking, in this case, perhaps literally the smoking gun or the knife in question. So, yeah. I remember seeing the knife, and I remember seeing both of the attackers' hands with blood on them. I didn't actually see anything myself, no, not until I heard that scream. No, because you went in front of the carriage. I do strongly remember you being the driver of the carriage, so you couldn't even see anything whatsoever. Anyway, the fact remains, there can't have been anyone else inside that carriage, or we would all have seen. Depends. Well, lo and behold. In truth or fact, not one of you was witness to the crucial moment the crime was perpetrated. I apologize, my lord, but honestly, there was no one else inside that carriage, and the man's hands were covered in blood. Yeah, perhaps he was trying to help him? Can also be the case. If you didn't see it, then most likely it's 50-50. Did he do it? Didn't he do it? You know, you need to have evidence. We don't have evidence. That much incriminating evidence in tantamount to saying we saw the man do it. That's really not what testimony is about. Let's examine the interior of the omnibus once more. The victim's fresh blood is clearly visible on the seat, corroborating the witness account. So he was stabbed in the abdomen, probably, you know, in the stomach. Van Ziekse, what the fuck's that kind of name? In other words, there's no substantial nor significant change in the facts of the case. Very well. Your cross-examination, please, counsel. Yes, my lord. This endless and only the thing, remember that. Okay. Let's just press them on all of them. The evidence tells us otherwise. We have the gloves the defendant was wearing on the night in question in the court record. I'm well aware of that, but nevertheless, I know what I saw and I stand by it. The man had blood on his hands. He's defiant even in the face of hard evidence. Oh yeah, because the guy was wearing gloves and they didn't have any blood on it or something. He's steadfastly refusing to admit that he might be mistaken about what he saw, but why? Your reason is dire. I think he was German, because it's Van Ziek, so it doesn't make any sense that he would be in the UK. So let's just give him a German accent, or at least try to give him a German accent. Van Antel 2, the salient points remains unchanged. Minutes after the grim crime, the victim's blood dripped I can't even pronounce that in English, to be fair, from the accused fingers. I'm just gonna press him on all of them. Don't try to downplay this. Whether or not you saw the exact moment of the crime is a matter of fundamental importance as well, you know, but for crying out loud, we all know that no one else could possibly have done it. I was trying to save us all some time. You have a loan of 20 guineas outstanding with the defendant, do you not? And you hope to release yourself from that financial burden by ensuring the defendant was found guilty? Well, that's not entirely not what I was hoping for. I just lost a little guinea or 10 when I backed the wrong horse in the derby, that's all. I was going to win it all back. There's a fixture this weekend, that's a sure thing. A little guinea or 10, I don't know how much a guinea is, so. I'm a banker, no one bats an eye if I borrow a little spending money for the weekend. Oh, is that how it works out? I think you may have revealed rather more about your character than you bargained for, sir. This witness's scruples are not on trial here. Proceed to the next witness. Is that really how it's supposed to work? Not necessarily, but the thing is, this is so over the top that half of these people should already be disqualified before even being a witness because they lied under oath, which is a criminal offense. Actually, I think it's... I don't know how high it is in the UK, but I think that if you lie under oath and they do... You are actually guilty of that fact. Jesus fucking Christ. Let me see. Lying under oath, UK punishment? I'm curious. Perjury is a statutory offense in England and Wales. A person convicted of perjury is liable in imprisonment for a term not exceeding 7 years, or to a fine, or to both. 7 years! For just saying something stupid. Well, yeah. I remember seeing the knife. Press him. Keep pressing him. You definitely saw that, too. Blood on both hands? Yes, sir? I mean, I know what you're going to say. Only one of Mr. McGilder's gloves have any sign of blood on it. That's right. The thing is, as far as I remember, when I looked down and saw Mr. McGilder sitting beside the other fellow, I don't believe he was wearing any gloves, sir. He wasn't wearing any these gloves? And I saw the blood on both his bare hands quite clearly. It's true that the dark colored stain on the dark leather gloves would have been easy to see. I should point out that the police officer who apprehended the accused on the night in question reported that there was no trace of blood on Mr. McGilder's gloved hands. There wasn't blood on his hands? This is puzzling indeed. This must be significant, I'm sure of it. You didn't see anything? Yes, sir. That is to say, no, sir, I didn't. Very sorry about what I said before. Very sorry. It was very wrong of me to make up stories and say I saw him stab the man. Wouldn't you agree, sir? I know what you're insinuating, but I certainly wasn't making up stories. Well, you did lie on the oath, because you wanted to hopefully not be able to pay your loan back. So, yeah, I have a couple of things to say about it, but okay. Still to say, you saw nothing isn't right either, is it? I saw nothing at all. Mr. Beppo, you were driving your horses. At the very least, you must have enjoyed a good view of London streets. This is useless. Oh, please, you didn't even see that? It was so cold that night, you see, it was all I could keep from passing out. My head was fairly frozen solid, sorry to say. It would seem prudent to avoid travel on the last omnibus service of London's cold winter nights. Beppo? Oh yeah, I think it was his balls or something. Mr. Fabley didn't seem to be amazed in being stabbed at all. That's a hugely significant change in the facts of the case. And there's something else that occurred to me whilst listening to the witness' latest testimony. Two of them are recounting what they saw through the skylight in the omnibus roof. I know it's a large window and certainly affords a good view of the inside, but I think perhaps we ought to confirm what they're saying with our own eyes as much as possible. What do you mean? I mean that we can examine the evidence firsthand. The omnibus is here in the courtroom after all. It's a good idea. And we can consider the witnesses' statements while we are looking around. Did I think I didn't... And everything you saw in the instant was through the sky of the roof of the omnibus. That's right, it was fiercely cold this night, but the glass wasn't frosted over. Oh yes, I remember I was shivering, it was so bitter. Which rather begs the question of why the pair of you were sitting on the roof of the deck in the first place. Well, I don't know about this young fellow, but I couldn't enter the cabin. Oh, why not? It was locked from the inside. I tried knocking, but no one opened the door. It's so weird to me that these carriages or omnibus are like double-decker buses. Is this literally where the double-decker bus in the UK originated from? Like, just the omnibus be having a top side as well for people to sit on? It makes sense from an efficiency standpoint to have it on the roof as well, but it, like, when it's winter like this, kind of useless to me, but okay. And it's public, so it's public bus service for pity's sake. That's not what I call fair play. And exactly the same experience. Tried knocking, but the gent inside just gestured at me to clear off. So I had no choice but to climb up the roof deck and look down longingly into the warm cabin below. I can assure you I was looking down, I was glowering long and hard, and that's precisely why I can tell you with absolute confidence that if there was anyone else in that cabin, I would have noticed. Unequivocal, I would say. I'm not sure about these two witnesses. Could they really have seen everything inside the cabin through the skylight? They might not have been able to. Allow me to confirm one thing, Mr. Fairplay. You are riding this omnibus. And witnessed the events in the cabin through the skylight of the upper... skylight in the floor of the upper deck. Is that right? That's right, yes. In that case... there is a portion of the cabin interior that you would have been out of sight from you. Don't act like so fucking surprised. It's fucking common sense. Really? Obviously, at this stage, we can say for sure. But the possibility cannot be denied that all the time, at the time of the incident, there could have been another passenger in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus. Oh, Yankee. Enough hypothetical meandering, my Nipponese friend. Is this some kind of slur for you're fucking Asian or something? The prosecution demands that you substantiate your claims. After all, the scene of the crime is here, in the flesh. Very well, I will uphold the prosecution's demands. You will identify the area of the cross-section of the omnibus. Well, the thing is, where exactly are you suggesting that a potential extra prisoner could have been situated? That's the thing. If they were sitting here, the skylight would have only given them proper access to this part of the omnibus. So they wouldn't even find this at all. You know, it's impossible. If they were to sit here, then yes, you could see that, but you have to look back. So if they were both sitting here on the skylight, they can only see this side, and they wouldn't be able to see who's here. So I guess I need to... Take that? Both rows of seats of the roof face in direction of travel. Whereas the seats in the enclosed cabin face each other. Which means... the visible part of the cabin, which passengers on the roof deck can see through the skylight, is as I've drawn here. Ah. Wow. Such cold-hearted facts. Van Zieks, yes. Van Zieks, because I think he's German, so that's why I'm giving him a German accent. Oh, by the way, this doesn't matter whatsoever. Naomi, I'm drinking this one to you being cancer-free. Oh god, that's strength. Fucking vodka, Jesus. Oh, that's strong. Oh, that's right, my lord, as you can see. Oh, the seat opposite, the one on which the victim and his attacker were sitting, is obscured from view. In other words, if someone had been sitting on that seat, it's quite possible that these witnesses would have seen, would have been completely unaware of it. That's water, of course. No, I mean, it's vodka. What the fuck do you mean? Objection. It's quite possible. Some phantom was sitting there. You Nipponese have a forbidding habit of obscuring the truth with ambiguity. I swear to God, Nipponese is just a slur for Asians. Your acting had me. Well, that means I'm a good actor, for God. Okay, for God's sake. Do you guys hear the fireworks in the background? It's fucking insane how close this is. My mic can pick it up, so my best guess is that you hear a fade. Pew, 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 pew. I concur with the prosecution's rejoinder. What the fuck are all these words? What the fuck? In the British Code of Law, evidence is paramount. I cannot entertain the conjecture, counsel. That is, unless you're able to put a name to this mysterious passenger to whom you allude. Can you, Mr. Naruhodo? I honestly don't know. Who could it have been? Who could have been in the other seat, which was out of sight from the witness on the roof deck? Let's just say I have no idea. Because we don't have any idea. No, we do not have any idea who was sitting on there, because everyone that is currently in this courtroom under oath or whatever, you know, as a testimony or whatever, literally everyone is sitting where we could see them, where everybody else could have been seen. But as a proud citizen of the Japanese Empire, you will look to the sky and walk on, making sure all signs of tears are gone. Go on. This isn't just a case of going on, Mr. Sato. While he's being shot, hey Josh, how you been? Wasn't your dialysis today? No, it's Monday, never mind. No, never mind, it's Monday. Sunday. This one was Sunday, if I remember correctly. Honestly, it's so fucked in my head. I'm only looking at the dates and I don't even care about... because it's a vacay, I'm not even focused on the actual days anymore, it's just the dates. Alright then, I'll go on. The defense would like to put forward a name. Oh, he's gonna drink blood, isn't he? You are a fool. That response was a desperate attempt by a man who has no notion of his own limitations. A toast to hard lessons not yet learned. Let us not delay, counsel. The defense is still to name the passenger in the other seat. Yes, slap him. On that night, on the night of the murder, the person occupying the seat in the omnibus cabin that was obscured from the view. It can't be him, because he's not even a part of this. He's the prosecutor, so he doesn't even have anything. It's not him. It's not him, because he was sitting in front. These two were sitting on top. You would say it's him. The only one we can actually do is him. I think he was the only one in the omnibus. The passenger in the enclosed cabin that the witness on the roof deck failed to see. As to have been Mr. Magnus McGilded. But... Mr. McGilded? What are you talking about, counsel? That's the name of the defendant. Well, damn. Didn't see that one coming. Objection. The fuck did he just do? How the hell did that work? If I desecrate this chamber by smashing my hallowed chalice, do forgive the discourtesy. Why didn't... This isn't even German. I don't even know how to... Lord Van Zieks. People talk of those tiny island nations in the Far East as having a learning and culture of their own. But I see they only use the terms ill-advisedly. What are you trying to say? Let me explain in terms that even the students of an artless backwater such as yourself might understand. When the bloody scene unfolded, the victim and his assailant were sitting side by side. Multiple witnesses have attested to that fact. It's the very premise on which this case is built. But that premise may be wrong. What? I mean, what? If the victim really was sitting beside Mr. McGilded, it creates an inconsistency that cannot be reconciled in any way. What inconsistency, counsel? The defendant's gloves, my lord. Both witnesses made the same testimony. They claimed that there was blood on both hands of the person sitting next to the victim. Yet we know the truth to be otherwise. Only one glove bears the gory remains. So it's inconsistent. Even in the face of this irrefutable evidence, both witnesses have maintained their stance. Yes, their testimony remains unchanged. Exactly. They both adamantly swear that they clearly remember seeing blood on both hands of the assailant. In short, their memory of events is correct, and the testimony reveals the truth. It was somebody else sitting beside the victim that night, a third party we have yet to identify. And the victim's blood was on that passenger's hands, both of them. Give me a moment, Josh. And who was this third party? Obviously, the true culprit. Wow! Extraordinary. It's like we keep kicking in open doors, but they're just revolving doors, so it doesn't matter. It's like it doesn't matter. We keep literally kicking open doors, but secondly, it's just a revolving door. You know, we just keep bashing through the same goddamn door. You looking forward to spending New Year's Eve with Rick and Denise? Yeah, I am actually. Rick had another plan when he started. I think this December. Let's just say when I got asked. Quadruple. What the fuck are you talking about? When he asked me 2 weeks ago, he already had another someone. He had asked, but that person just said like, oh, we were supposed to come, I didn't even want to come. So, yeah, then he asked me, so yeah. One other trio, but a quadruple. So yeah, I'm quite hyped actually, because usually I don't, I honestly, I really, during this night, especially in this city, a lot of people just set off fireworks and I just don't give a flying fuck, man. It's just so shit. It's just boom, 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 boom. I want you in my room, then spend the night together for now. Okay, shut the fuck up. What the fuck? Yeah, we are with 4 of us. Also 2 kitties and 1 rabbit. So technically you're second. Yeah, technically, yeah. But the thing is, they were supposed to start drinking. So I guess it's their drinking partners. Me and Denise, fuck's sake. Denise also doesn't drink a lot anymore. Or at all. Don't want to say anything bad about her. I don't know how much she drank in the first place, but she had a liver accident, which almost caused her liver to rupture in 2, which actually means that she's not allowed to drink as much as she did anymore. But me and Esther don't really drink a lot. I don't drink at all. Sometimes I just take a sip of a wine or a beer or whatever to see if I like it, but I am very critical. So quadruple, yes, Naomi, yes, Jesus. But yeah, me and Esther don't drink a lot. I barely drink. She like 2 glasses of wine. That's about it, except for the vodka and your moldy bottle. Yeah, it's honestly, this was a misbuy. Is that a thing? A misbuy? A miss. This product, as much as I like it for being bamboo and such, I can't get rid of the mold, honestly. I think I'm gonna throw it away. Oh, that's disgusting. Jesus fucking Christ. Why do I smell things? You did, but then I already bought it, so... Actually... Because the water still smells fine, I guess. Okay. Okay, this one is... Yeah, okay, New Year's resolution, don't buy this anymore. This is a Doppler for the people who want to... This one's going in the trash. Order. What exactly are you postulating? What the hell are you doing? I'm playing the Ace Attorney. Oh great, Rick's here. Defense was nothing more than conjecture. The witnesses, plural, have clearly stated that they saw the accused. Honestly, by the way, Naomi, if there's something that gave you cancer, tomorrow we go drunk. Yeah, sure, we'll go drunk tomorrow. But without elaborating on his testimony, Mr. Fairplay said the 2 of them were wearing hats and I couldn't exactly make out their faces. Yes. The tops of their heads were obscured by the roof. I could see the rest of them, though. He was just talking about how the most of you don't drink. Yeah. Well... Yeah, Rick drinks. I know that, because he almost gave me the fucking... What's that? What is it in English? What is the term? What's the medical term for that in English? Ik weet niet wat een longembolie op zijn Engels is. This is fucked up. A lung embolie? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Denise doesn't drink as much. At least I have never seen her drunk. Rick can testify to that more than I can. And as the pulmonary embolie, you had to look that up, didn't you? You can't Tell me that you knew this by heart, Gnaomi, because if you did, I will pull my ballsack out. Embolism. Okay, you knew the second part. Okay, I'll rip half of my sack out, but I've never seen Denise drunk. Shame. Ah, okay. Oh yeah, so okay, so we did that. Of course, we are planning on drinking, or you guys are planning on drinking because I don't drink. Although I was just telling them that I sometimes do take a sip of a beer or a wine to see if I like it, and usually I don't. So, yeah, that's right. Both gents were most certainly hatters do tend to notice such things, sir. Yeah, hatters do tend to notice. I have some alcohol for you. Boy, do I have a poopy for you. You will not like it. What is it? Like spiritus. And what particular styles of hat did the two gentlemen wear, Mr. First? It is without alcohol. Oh, nice. I'm getting the children champagne. I'm afraid I don't remember. Yeah, I was about to say. And call yourself a hatter? The style of hat makes no difference. There was no third passenger in that cabin. How can you be sure? Maybe I don't even like that, Rick. How the fuck... It's like, okay, we're splitting this in 4. Let's buy all random shit that we don't need, so everything becomes more expensive for everybody. Is that literally how this went? My mom just went to the HEMA to get the bubbles from the HEMA. Lol. How do you pronounce that in English? The HEMI. 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 HEMA. 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 Email. Like a week ago. Oh, for me! Oh, so I can do the toast. That's not on the bill. Oh. Did you just ruin the surprise? Guys, I'm trying to play a game here, just so you know. I know the chat's blowing up right now, but I'm trying to play a game here. Because if there had been, the accused, Mr. McGillis, would undoubtedly have offered to dispose the facts. Unless, that is, you are proposing an even more preposterous explanation. It's not really a surprise. I play the game. I'm gone. Okay, bye, Rick. He goes faster than he came, but okay. It's not really a surprise. Araucraft is not... Oh, shut the fuck up. Okay, maybe if I'm done within an hour, we can still play. I don't know if you're here at like 8:30, but I am available then, probably. That the accused failed to even notice the presence of the true cop. No, I cannot play. Then shut the fuck up. Get out. Go watch a movie together with Dennis. Chamay. The true culprit in the very cabin in which he traveled. Somebody give that man a fucking blanket or something. He's cold. He's right. If there was another person traveling in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus, it's inconceivable that Miss McGill would have been unaware of it. Order. There's clearly a simple solution to this problem. Bring the accused, Miss McGill, to the stand. Well, what you say, counsel? The prosecution objects, my lord. On what grounds? As a suspect, he will have already made a full statement to the police. But what if there's some reason why he's unable to speak freely? Magnus McGillis is no uneducated ruffian. Oh, wait, fuck. Okay, all the fucking accents. Annoying. If it indeed turns out the man has been withholding information, you can be sure it will have been a most deliberate act. Counsel for the defense, what is your opinion? My lord, should we ask Miss McGill to testify or not? It only relies on him, I guess. Yes. We need to hear what he said in order to find out. Yeah. The defense would like to call Mr. McGill to the stand. In that case, I would like to hear the opinion of the jury. Hold on, Josh, what did you say? You two should fight tomorrow, though Rick would have an unfair advantage, because Harley's a cripple. What does me being a cripple have to do? I mean, you're in a wheelchair, so it makes sense that you would have a natural disadvantage, but what does me being partially crippled have anything to do with me having an unfair advantage? If I bring my cane, I just slap him from a mile away. Hell, if I even just pull down my pants, slap him with my dick, it would be just from a mile away. Yes, I need a little time to consider this. If you ask me, I think we should hear what Mr. McGill has to say. Get the man out here, I say. Why does he have a knife? It would be utterly illogical not to hear his testimony. When something is doing, get it done. That's how I run things at the guild. Hearing what the patron of my favorite little park has to say? Oh yes, that would be lovely. Yes, the jury says the man must be... I like how he just looked at the rest of them like, the fuck? Very well. The court will hear the defendant's testimony. Bailiff, show the defendant to the stand at once. Everything sounds so fancy in fucking English. Bailiff. Now, maybe what actually happened that night will finally become clear. Well... Well, let proceedings be resumed. Mr. McGilbert, have you been listening to the discourse of the day? He literally looks like a Willy Wonka. I swear to fucking God, this guy looks like a Willy Wonka. That has to be the basis for this character, or the caricature. There are now two matters on which the court decides to hear from you. The first is whether or not there was a third party with you in the omnibus cabin. Josh, have you ever called a bus an omnibus? Or just the public transport overall? Because this seems to be something English, but I've never heard of the word omnibus with this definition before. The second is that if such a person was indeed present, why did you conceal that fact from the police? Begad, no. 'Tis not my nature to hide anything at all. Just answer the questions, please. The truth of the matter is, I've been desperate about this all along. Do I tell yous all, or keep my mouth shut? Tell us what, Mr. McGold? The fine fellow representing me is absolutely right. In the carriage on the night with myself and the other man, there was another passenger. It's true? Aye, and it was me who helped the little urchin get away after all that happens. You... What? Franziska von Karma just followed me. This is, this has got to be a, yeah... this is an Ace Attorney joke. Don't worry, I left my whip at... Yeah, you keep that whip at home. Oh... The thing is... I don't know the Ace Attorney franchise that well, but I've seen a few things and... Oh, do you... we can... Yes, but no. Let's just say that, okay? Maybe. Depends on what you're gonna do the rest of the night to me. Gonna have to pay me dinner first. Yeah, that's what that was the goddamn thing I'm looking for here. You're gonna have to pay me dinner first. But yeah, I don't know much about the Ace Attorney the Ace Attorney overall, the franchise overall. But I do know that little Franziska von Karma joke. Okay, got it. No, Magnus McGill, that convenient excuse can't save you now. And no, I'm not a bot. I made this account to see Phoenix Wright player's reaction. Oh, that's... yeah, that's nice. Yeah, the thing is... the only people that come on my streams are the small community that I have. Just a new chatter from time to time. And most of the time it's people that say like, hey, how you doing? And then you start chatting to them. And then they say, hey, did you know your account kind of looks sad? Or kind of looks... It could be better. How about I draw you something? Or how about I give you a couple of these you know, so things like that. I don't know if those are bots or something, but they are quite annoying. I'm sure you'll be wanting to know why I said nothing when I was taken in by the police. I do be having a very good reason, I assure you. Which was? Well, a little child was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, and not in any way involved, you see. What? If the police had known the wee one was there, they'd have assumed she'd done it. They'd have hauled her into the take courtroom just like myself. I was only trying to spare her that. Young hearts and young minds are easily damaged, my lord. Why the 3 hours? That's because, this is the 7:30 news. Welcome to Monkey News. I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing sometimes. It's just... This account... This and my entire existence on the internet is just... Fuck around, find out. One of them, the let me check really quick. Oh, stinky poo meme. No. I have no idea what this meme is from. I found it on the internet. It was like, I'm gonna sit in the middle of this. I'm gonna sit in the middle of this. IQ? When I get in this room, IQ? And who was this young child of whom you speak? That? I don't know. You don't know? Well, the wee thing just happened to be in the carriage at night. I never saw her before or since. We have absolutely no reason to believe this man. The prosecution calls for the witness statements to be disregarded by the court. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if the urchin isn't here in this courtroom as we speak. Here in this court... Oh, she is here. Listening to the proceedings. Bang. What is going on? I don't know either. Be careful, cover your face. Bailiff, don't let the accused escape. Secure the omnibus. I hereby call an emergency recess. Bailiff, ensure the defendant is in custody and clear the courtroom. Josh, when is your next dialysis? We are hurriedly removed from the smoke-filled courtroom by the bailiff. Amid scenes of chaos, as people stumbled over one another in their desperation to flee the chamber. We have no idea what was happening. All we knew was that, for the time being at least, the trial was suspended. And that's the to be continued. How long has it been? 45 minutes. I guess we can do the part 2 as well. Not that it really matters, but still. Let's go back. 18th of February, 1 PM. I need to sneeze. My apologies if that blew your eardrums out. What on earth just happened in there? Mr. Naruto, I've managed to find out what happened. Mrs. Atto? I was told it was an advanced form of smoke grenade. A type of exploding device that releases smoke. Smoke grenade? It sounds like the sort of things ninjas use. They're just making sure everything is safe now. I think the trial will start again before long. But who could have done something like that? The police managed to catch someone who was trying to flee the courtroom, apparently. Flee the courtroom? Why? Well, it's a young girl of around 15. A young girl, then? Could it be the other passenger that Mr. McGilder was just talking about? My thoughts exactly. So he wasn't lying. What has become of him, actually? There's so many things I need to ask him about, but he's not here. I think he was someone to the prosecutor's antechamber to answer questions, along with the young girl. Who is she, I wonder? And what has she done? What is she even doing here at the trial? She was taking a huge risk, and for what possible benefit? Well, kind of like an eye for an eye. Like he helped save me, and now I'm helping him save himself or something? There's another matter that's troubling me. What's that? The 20 pence. Hmm? According to the coachman, Mr. Beppo, he took 4 passengers that night at a fare of 5 pence each. That comes to a total of 20 pence exactly. But now it seems there were in fact 5 passengers, which means the figures don't seem to add up again. Counsel for the defense, kindly proceed into the courtroom. The trial will recommence in 5 minutes. Oh, thank you, officer. We'll go in straight away. Well, whoever she is, I imagine this young girl will be asked to take the stand and testify now. I really can't imagine what she's going to say, but it could alter the whole direction of the trial. We'll know soon enough, Mrs. Atto. Yes. Yes, I could have said that better, but here we are. Actually, it's the 30th of December. Oh, Jesus. There's the young girl next to Mr. Miguel. Look, she must have been the one who caused the disturbance before. Well, after that rather eventful recess, the court will now resume the trial of Mr. Magnus McGilded. Now then, Lord Van Zieks. My lord? Why do they call them each other lord? Such a stupid... Okay, whatever. I believe you established the cause of the smoke which failed proceedings earlier. Seems to have been a devout form of smoke grenades, of the sort typically employed by the army. Good gracious, the army? What in the devil's name? It was an elaborate attempt by a young girl to cloak her escape from the public gallery. But she was caught. What I'm... well, it makes sense that she... because my brain was like, why... It doesn't make any sense that she tried to escape with a smoke bomb. She could have just left. But when McGilded actually called her out, like, hey, blah, 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 perhaps she's in here right now, she saw no other option, probably. And now occupies the stands. Your name, girl? Are you responsible for the smoke grenade which induced such pandemonium here in my courtroom? What is the meaning of this deplorable behavior? If I may, my lord? Yes, Mr. McGilded. I think perhaps I ought to explain it. Why it is that this wee lass was in the first place, and why she tried to bolt like that. It's all tied up the events of that night, so it is. Very well, Miss McGill, give your testimony. You will explain to the court exactly how this young woman is involved in this case. So what did happen that night? Well, that's the point. Not like a defense lawyer needs that information or anything. Yeah. You accepted this case? On the night in question, I took the back seat in the omnibus and promptly nodded off. Then, Bagora, whatever the fuck that means, a loud thud and a wee scream woke me up with a fast start. There was a fella collapsed on the floor at my feet, so I sat him up on the seat across from me. Then I turned to find out that scream had come from... where that scream had come from, and bless my soul, what did I find? There was a child in there, all caught up in a ball, hiding a wee self away. Where the fuck would she have been sitting then? I remained somewhat baffled, I confess. But from what I gather on the night in question, this young girl was indeed riding in the omnibus, is that correct? That's exactly what the defense counsel said. This last was the 5th passenger, my lord. Very well. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. Are you ready, counsel? I have no idea what to start. Well, in that case, Jesus fucking Christ, I don't know what happened there with my voice. Just go. Go with the flow. The young girl. Just press him. And when you first got onto the omnibus, were there any other passengers already on board? There were not. The cabin was empty, and there was no one on the roof deck either. You were the first passenger, as it were. I see. Hi, that's why I took the back seat as I did. It is the most comfortable, so it is. Yeah, it makes sense. Most people always like to sit in the direction the carriage is going. You know, so it's just... you're just one-sided. Because if you sit the other way, not a whole lot of people like that. And I clearly understand. Honestly. I do clearly understand. Actually, so... could you explain exactly what you mean by the backseat? By all means. This how you already described it earlier. I'm talking about the seat opposite. The one in which the poor gentleman was stabbed and sitting. Like I said, this is the most comfortable and where I feel most at ease. And of course, I enjoy gazing through the skylight from time to time as well. A loud thud, you say, and a scream? Aye, that's right. How can I explain it? It was like the sound of someone falling to the ground. That sort of noise. So you think it was the sound of Mr. Mason falling to the floor having been stabbed? Well now, you'll remember I was asleep at the time, so I wouldn't like to say. And when the sound woke me and I opened my eyes, there wasn't a soul to be seen in the carriage, but it fell on the floor. You didn't see anyone, but at the same moment you did hear a scream? Ah, from the seats above you on the roof deck, I presume? Not above me, no my lord, it was from inside the cabin. But I wasn't altogether thinking about the scream. No, I was too stunned by the desperate sight before my eyes. Okay, so we don't have he doesn't have anything for us. You set him up, the victim, you mean? That I did, on the scene across from me. As I said, I could plainly see the poor devil was already gone. And you wouldn't leave a dead man just lying on the floor now, would ya? Well, to preserve evidence, I would say yes. Is there anybody still here? Naomi? Josh? Kinda getting quiet in chat. It is common courtesy, so it is. I find that a little hard to believe. Ah, Lord Van Zieks, now why would that be? You wake to find a man lying dead at your feet in a carriage. Any normal person would hail a cabman. Any upstanding member of London society, that is. Well now, as you know, I'm in something of a special line of business. The business of lending money at exorbitant rates of interest. Unfortunately, my lord, not everyone is thankful for the help I offer them, and some would even see me dead. So, do I try, where at all possible, to avoid getting myself in a tangle with trouble? Are you suggesting you were going to just leave the man there? Heavens alive, no. I was always intended to report it, so I was, only I had a mind to find out on whys and wherefores first. The whys and wherefores? Right you are. And there are some details I want to understand before anyone else got to the meddling. The wee scream I heard, for example. Wouldn't your good self do just the same? Yeah, the scream he says he heard at the same time as the thought of the victim collapsing? Somebody's PMing me like crazy. What I don't understand is people nowadays can't like seriously. I'm getting 8 texts, 8 from the same person who can't be bothered to just type everything in one sentence. No, instead it's gonna be 4 words each goddamn text. It annoys me. That's not why my notifications are turned on in your chat. Josh, do you do the same, by the way? Do you shorten up your... How short are your messages? Let's see really quick. No, you actually type in all sentences. Sounds like Rick. Does that sound like Rick? No. Rick's 50-50 on this, to be fair. No, Rick's 50-50 on it. I'll be fair, Rick's 50-50. Sometimes he's like... He can't type for 4 words straight in a sentence and then don't click send. But at other times he's like 2 sentences in one text, and I'm like proud of him then. I do understand, because it's kind of annoying to have a whole big fucking text looking like an essay, but still. I'm sure you told the court that there was no one else in the carriage except yourself and the victim. So I did, sir, so I did. As far as I could see, that is. What do you mean by that? Well now, it's a queer thing. It's a what? A queer thing? Josh, is this some type of slang I don't know about? Because this is not the type of queer that I'm thinking of. Is this some English slang for like a gentleman, a distinguished gentleman or something. This is something that I could ask you because you're more English than I am. You're also more crippled than I am. You're mostly everything more than I am. Except for a man. I'm just gonna be like, no, I don't know what a queer is. Exactly. It came from, if you'll excuse the vulgar expression, under my backside. Good gracious. Under your backside? She was in my ass! Fucking hell. Oh, I have a little, like, I don't know if you can see it. For my throat, like a little, I don't know what it's called in English, let's be fair. But I almost fucking choked in it because of the... She was stuck in my ass! And when I lifted the seat on which I'd been sitting, I found there was a wee cubbyhole there for storage. Mr. Naruto, we can examine those ourselves, remember? The whole box was submitted as evidence. This would be a very good time to have a thorough look around inside. Aye, that's right. It was hard to see in the dim lamplight. But she was all curled up in a wee ball when her arms might, well, my heart nearly stopped beating in my chest. You're really overacting this. Still and all, I pulled her out from under there and set her on the seat opposite so I could have a wee chin whack with her. Oh, what the fuck is a chin whack? A talk? The seat opposite. That's right, just next to that gentleman there. What the fuck? You set this young girl next to a corpse, sir? Well, as I'm sure I mentioned, a gentleman in my position can all too often find himself in mortal danger. So, I need to find out just who this urchin was, you see. And while I was in the middle of talking with her, I heard another scream. A fella's voice this time. Presumably that scream was Mr. First, who was sitting on the roof deck. Right you are again, I would say, sir. Looking down through the skylight, he must have seen this young girl and the gentleman with the knife in his belly. In other words, the previous witness did not in fact see you at all, Mr. McGilden. What they believed to be yourself and the victim was in fact this girl and the late Mr. Mason. Aye, my lord. I was, as I think everyone understands now, sat at the back of the carriage, out of sight. Oh, Rick's actually PMing me right now. And he did 4 sentences in 4 texts. Of course he did. Let me actually text Frank really quick. See if he wants to come. Me and him had a talk about Ace Attorney last week. He was like, "Are you still playing that?" I'm like, "Yes, but it's on the backbench because it is." Defendant is someone Jesus fucking Christ. She's small. Okay, I get it. And readily confused, perhaps, with this young girl. After that, of course. With the scream from the gentleman over us, the driver realized something was wrong and pulled up the horses. Thank you, I've had enough. The events, as explained, are clear in my mind. However, at least one conundrum remains. Who is the girl? Her name is Gina Lestrade, my lord. She is a chancer, whatever the fuck, earns her crust among large crowds, relieving people of their purses, and she's a pickpocket. Okay, gotcha. This girl here, a petty thief. Is this true, Miss Lestrade? Miss Lestrade, you will answer the question. How the fuck did she get that gun into the courtroom? How dare you? What is the meaning of this? She's on his lap, isn't it? The girl, she's gone. Open your eyes. I'm over here. Good gracious, how... What was the point in that little sidestep? Oh fuck, she's... Scottish, isn't she? Oh god. Hold on, let me eat my... thing, God, this is gonna be annoying. I know what you lot are thinking. Grown-ups are all the same. I can't do this for shit, I'm sorry. This dirty little dipper, you'll say, slipped up and got not on the job. She got herself back into the corner, so she know the gent. I can. Go on, that's what in your heads, ain't it? No, not at all. How the fuck are you supposed... Okay, so you come from Japan, you go to England, you can barely... If this is going to be a reoccurring thing that she does, I swear to fucking god I'm going to quit this game. He comes from... So the main character comes from Japan, goes to England. Knows English by heart. Knows Scottish. Okay. Look, knives are for cowards. Only factious weapons like that. All I need for what I do is these fingers. Fucking hell. Well, I don't even know what accent I'm doing anyway. I'm a professional, alright. Maybe not in your eyes, but I got pride in what I do. Let me guess, you don't count smoke guns among weapons for folks? Oh, this? Yeah, this was in a bag I lifted the other day. Down where they keep the four-wheel drags. It's nice, isn't it? I like the pink best. Do not wave that thing in my direction. Isn't she can just be a fucking... They could just get rid of the guns, first of all, and they could get rid of her in the first place. Just chain her. So you admit that you were riding the omnibus on the night in question. Why the fuck do you have a wine? Count Dracula. His accent does make him Count Dracula. That's alright, lass. You can tell them the truth now. Alright, yeah. It's just like the Irishman said. Jesus. The court accepts this girl, Miss General Estrada, as a valid and significant witness in this case. Accordingly, young lady, we will now hear your testimony, if you please. You will tell the court exactly what happened in the omnibus the night in question. Alright, if I have to. Fucking A. Judge, how's my accent? Is it more Scottish? Is it more Irish? I can't tell. Is it even an accent? So I snuck inside the carriage before they hooked up the horses, just like always. This is my first time actually doing this accent, so... Shite. It's shite! Well, what's heavier? A kilogram of steel or a kilogram of fat? Fuck. But it was a right old waste of time. I got nothing to show for me troubles that night. I'll tell you. You can't see a blind thing in that hiding place. It's pitch in there. But Gino, what's heavier? A kilogram of steel or a kilogram fuck me? A kilogram of fuck me. Then after a while I heard this loud bang. Nearly jumped out of my skin, I did. And the scream just came out. It's because of that this swell found me. Did he help? Get away, mate. I can't. I have no idea what the hell I'm saying at this point. Yes, he let you go. I fail to understand why you let this street urchin go. Oh, this simplicity itself, my lord. You see, she couldn't possibly have killed the other passenger. I knew that for a fact. How? He was sitting on top of her. She was in her ass, in his ass, kind of, in a sense. If she wants to get out, then he has to stand up, and he didn't stand up because he was in there in the first place, and she was in there before he was, so it didn't occur to him. He was asleep. And if he's asleep, she can't be like, hey, can you get out? Because he's asleep. Otherwise, he would be on the floor when he woke up. He wasn't on the floor, there's no fact. I was sitting right on top of the place where she was hiding herself. I think a demonstration is called for. I don't want to. This is where I sat that night. In the cubby hole of which you have spoken, underneath the seat I presume. Oh, that's a judge. Yes. It does appear large enough to accommodate someone of the girl's stature. Just say she's fucking tiny or petite or whatever. Don't use this stature. Aye, but of course the wee lass was stuck in there. Because I parked myself on the seat for the duration. Ah. So you see, that's why I let the lass bolt. I knew that if the police found her there, they'd automatically assume she'd done it. But I couldn't live with myself if a young life was ruined when all the time I knew she was innocent. Even though you must have realized your action would result in your own innocence being called into question? Not at all, my lord, not at all. I knew in my own heart that I was innocent. So I thought it was worth taking a punt on my own good name for the sake of the less fortunate lass. What a perfect gentleman. My lord, this fine example of a man cannot possibly be guilty of a heinous crime like this. Oh, he's gonna change it. I'm ashamed of myself for ever doubting you, sir. With calm, calculated reasoning, one arrives clearly at the truth every time. You were wrong before, though. Saints alive, all 6 members of the jury consensual in their leading to a verdict of not guilty? Nah, one of them's gonna be like, I think it's number 3. Well, it must mean what? That we're victorious. I don't think so. I don't think so. It's too short. What? Why? If the sights of my iron hilt violate an offense, pray do not forgive the discourtesy. This really is a consummate example of the one monumental flaw in British judicial practices. Where evidence and reasoning should be paramount, emotion rules the day. Emotion? The witness's latest statement gives us a clear insight into his true nature. What do you mean, his true nature? So you really think Scotland Yard would have made such a glaring omission? After the incident, the omnibus was comprehensively searched by officers of the police. Obviously, the interior of this cubbyhole, as the witness put it, was included in the investigation. The compartment under the posterior seat was full of the coachman's belongings. It's noted in black and white in the police report. Good lord. The evidence has been tampered with. In order to corroborate Mr. McGilder's story, someone has unlawfully removed everything from under the seat. Oh, so we have a corrupt policeman, is what he is gonna say. But he's still off the hook. Right? Should be still off the hook. Could such a devious contrivance possibly have been affected, counsel? Naturally, we must acknowledge the deficiencies of the blah 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 blah. However, I assure you, when the omnibus was wheeled into the courtroom this morning, the compartment under the seat was not empty. Well, my Nipponese friend, when the carriage was submitted as evidence, doubtless you exempted and fine dealt it as you would... What did you find in it? Oh, to be sure, the young gentleman will be able to clear this up in a jiffy. Sorry? Go ahead, you tell the court now, fella. Ah, this is all an elaborate excuse by the desperate Lord Van Zieks. Do you have something to say on the matter? We don't, because how am I supposed to answer? We didn't look. We'll just go with it wasn't empty. There's no fucking way. I really don't know if giving this answer is helping my cause as counsel for the defense. But as far as I remember, when I first examined the compartment, I'm fairly certain there were a number of articles inside it, yes. Are you sure, counsel? What are you saying now, you deaf doll? I thought you were on my side here. What game are you playing? You're Sasuke who defends the man in the stand. Why would you say something to compromise his position? Because as a lawyer, he has a duty to uphold. That being the truth. As the advocate for the defense in this trial, I confess I'm still not entirely sure where I stand. But it seems to me that I should state what facts I do know as clearly and honestly as possible. Interesting. It is not altogether pleasing, Vala. I'm simply telling the truth. Well, don't forget that you're supposed to be representing my best interests here, lad. Now then. A fella's memory is a curious thing and not altogether reliable. No, the court must reconsider the facts. That a cubbyhole under the seat is as empty as the devil's heart, so it is. Do you think perhaps it would be in your best interest now to admit that you might have been mistaken? Why do I feel like something's not right here? Should like the jury to weigh on this matter, I think. That compartment is inside the house equipment. I'm actually gonna go with autoplay here. The guild's rules that Omnibus should be properly and fully equipped at all times. So it certainly wouldn't have been empty on the night in question. Beppo isn't that irresponsible. Modeling Fleas and the Pigpurs are lying. Okay. We're going back. I can't believe I was nearly taken in. The stinking rich I always think is nothing but cowards. A lot of them. Ah yes, she's going with the facts again. Bitch, you just went white, why are you going back to black? Oh, you know what they say once you go black? Okay, shut the fuck up. Every time a different truth, it seems. Yep, exactly. She goes from guilty, not guilty, guilty, not... Oh, I guess that's part of being a juror, but... My lord, I humbly exhibit the scales of justice. Clearly, a verdict of not guilty at this time would be wholly inappropriate. Thank you, counsel. But before we proceed any further, there's the matter of the outstanding cross-examination. Counsel for the defense, begin your questioning of the witness, please. The whole balance of the trial just shifted almost beyond recognition. The Reaper of the Bailey is at work, it would seem. Yeah, the Von Zieks? Or the Van Zinks, whatever. What the girl saw. Ze snuck inside the carriage before they hooked up the horses. Okay. But I was right. Yeah, it was alright all the way, so time I got nothing to show for me troubles that night. I'll tell you, you can see a blind thing in a hiding place. No, there's nothing you can do about that. Nearly jumped out of my skin, and this is one of the facts, so I'm gonna go press this one. When you say a loud bang, do you mean the noise of someone falling to the floor? Could have been, I suppose. I don't remember so well. Okay, I can't do that. Point is, it made me jump. I'm gonna let you scream involuntarily. That's right. Then I felt the cushion over my head get lighter all of a sudden. Presumably when the defendant got up in order to help for the victim, yes. Or not. It could equally have been the moment you could use in order to stab the victim, could it not? Well, girl, did you see what happened at that crucial moment? Yeah, I saw. I pushed up the cushion and had a big butcher's while at the chains. The Irishman was sitting up, the bloke would have fallen on the floor in the seat opposite. That matches Mr. McGill's account, of course. But then, the fellow suddenly turns around. I sank back down, but it was too late by then. I should have never have risked looking. I need to look better. Autoplay is fucking me up. Could have been, I suppose. Point is, it made me jump. Let out a scream and fell entirely. That's right. So you couldn't see her in the cabin at all. Let's play the other one, see. I'm trying to focus here. That night, the Iceman spent all journey right on me. It's... Yeah, makes sense. That's what my current college just said. The omnibus, I suppose. The gold permits, okay. That's when you come out of your hiding place and get away. That's it, only that night. Skull was telling me from the start and didn't budge the whole way. Not 1 inch, I was totally stuck. Oh, if he's asleep, he can't budge, so. Frankie Doodle-Doo! Here I am, rock you like a hurricane. Well, how about you just sit down like a rock instead? So you were already in the omnibus before it even set off. I'm trying to look for clues here, and I'm trying to focus instead of trying to have fun with accents. But I'm not seeing any... Meh. She just didn't pay. Bless the storage compartment full of equipment for the coach. Unless the cab driver knew. Let's check all that out and cram it in a corner somewhere. No one ever seems to bother much. Yet, according to the report filed by the police officer who first arrived at the scene, the compartment was full of such paraphernalia. Well, that's probably just trash. No, nothing about that. Like I said, I moved all the stuff out so I could hide on the sea. That's all I can tell you. Okay. Next to the victim. Yeah, so this is weird. This guy, she is in the cupboard underneath his ass, because if you lift up the seat, you can place your stuff there. She was sitting underneath the guy to the right, so to this guy. Okay. But this guy, so he was asleep on top of her. Sounds wrong when you're talking about a 15-year-old, but okay, that's besides the point. And then he's asleep. He wakes up, finds the guy on the ground dead that was sitting across from him. He puts him up. He puts him down on the bench on the other side of him, with the knife still in his stomach. He finds out she's in there, gets her out, and then just puts her next to it to find out what the hell she's doing in there. Both hands covered in blood. That must be what the rooftop passenger saw. I didn't want no one to see my face, so I didn't look up. We're drawn up smartish in this area. Ashman says to me, "Get back under the seat. I'll see that you can get away later." All 6 members of the jury decided the defendant was innocent for one brief shining moment, yes. Still very unsure if we could just find some conclusive piece of evidence. I don't see what you want to give me. You mean You let out a scream involuntarily. And then I felt the cushion over me. This guy ain't moving at all. Solid as a rock. He's like, you wanna wonka my willy? Fucking hell. His face ain't moving. No. So I'll be honest, I have a walkthrough next to me just in case I fuck up, because otherwise you need to do this entirely all over again, so I'm fucking cheating. But the thing is, this is more like a dialogue game rather than a puzzle game, and sometimes the things I do make sense to me, but they don't make sense to the game for whatever the reason is. The game's or the walkthrough's telling me, press on this statement, then pursue him, because his face seems to be moving. But this man's face, man, I'm only looking at it if I really don't understand, and right now I just don't understand what I need to do, so... Okay, let me read it out loud. We'll soon be on to the cross-exam. What you want to do is add in that fourth statement. But to do so, you need to press the original fourth statement and then look at Mr. McGill that he will be reacting. Go ahead and pursue him. When it comes to that statement, blah, 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 blah. Okay. The fifth statement of above. You need to press the original fourth statement and then look at Mr. Miguel. So when I press this, I need to look at him. Could have been, I suppose. This man ain't moving. The fuck do you want me to do, game? Or a walkthrough in this case. This man. This man. He is Stone-Face Killer. What do you want me to do, game? I need to pursue him, but how do you want me to... There's nothing going on. It says like, then look at Mr. McGill that he will be reacting. Go ahead and pursue. He will be... What do you mean you're reacting? He's just... There's nothing going on. And that's the end of it. That's the end of the... Yeah, I've seen this like 4 times by now. What do you want me to do? How do you get rid of this? This is annoying as hell, by the way. Because when a walkthrough just doesn't tell you what to do. I already pressed on all the other status. Okay. The Ace Attorney Chronicles episode 3 part, I think it's part 3 or something. Be guilty of the heinous crime. No, I'm somewhere here now. Let's see what this person does. This is, oh, that's twice as much me. We don't want twice as much me now, do we? Okay, let's see what happens here. I didn't look, no, it doesn't matter, because it stays the same. Am I going too fast for you, YouTube? Oh, this is the part where we need to take a sneak peek. It took this guy 4 hours. I did press on all statements, by the way, so... You couldn't see it in the camera at all. At one point, he will look different. There's nothing different here, game. Not yet, anyway. Mr. McGill discovered you, he pulled you on. I need to find out what the hell he did to continue this. Oh, he's pulling out the number 3, okay. There it is. That's the one that I'm looking for. So he clicked. And this is the part where most people actually found themselves interesting. What is the comments? McGilda really only slipped into the place on the the air and localized minimum of fucking leprechaun. Oh, is he based on a leprechaun? Okay, so what you're saying... Did you see that, chat? This one. You're supposed to be reacting at one point. You playing your No, this part is 4 hours, and the thing with well, you should be playing this in your downtime because you can play it in your uptime, but I don't think that's gonna really work because you need to go to work and shit. But yeah, you do need to be locked in. But the thing is, I did this before and then he didn't give me this, so. I'm gonna pursue this. Is something wrong, Mr. McGilded? Oh, I do apologize. Was there something the matter, Council? I'm just wondering if Mr. Lestrade's last comment made something occur to you, perhaps. You seem to be thinking something to yourself. Oh, no, it was nothing important. I did click autoplay, did I? I was feeling bad for the poor lass, is all. I remember feeling desperate myself as a young lad, shut up in the dark. It was terrifying, so it was. I see, yes, I'm sure we can all sympathize. I'm still scared of the dark now. Well, am I? Chat, have you ever been scared of the dark? Oh, by the way, let me ask this question. Let me forward this question to you, chat. What is the thing you are still most scared of in this world? And it can be anything. Just be honest. It's a deep question. But I find that the darkness seems to make everything you hear seem that much louder as well. Yeah. I suppose it does, maybe. Miss Lestrade, did you hear something that night? Anything? An unusual noise, perhaps? Nah, not really. All I could hear was the Irishman snoring. There's no need to tell the whole world of me foibles, you little scamp. What a pity. If only Miss Lestrade had heard something, it might have given us a vital new clue. What should we make of that last statement? It is profoundly important. Space, deep sea, where you can't see the thought of go. It's called thalassophobia, first of all. It's called thalassophobia, first of all. Sorry, the music just stopped and I was like, did I fuck up? But it's called thalassophobia. I have the same thing, and that's why I'm playing Subnautica, and I still fucking hate it. I know the map from top to and I still get fucking scared because of the deep ocean. You want to know that there is one scene that comes to mind. There's one scene that can sum this up perfectly. And I have said this before, and I'll fucking say it again. This scene sums it up perfectly. This is from The Sea Beast. So they are on a ship in the water, underwater, and there's a sea beast just wrecking the boat, and now they've fallen off because they are hunting this beast for whatever the reason is, and then he's gonna try to save her. He's not bothered at all by anything going on in the water whatsoever. He just wants to help the kid, and then the kid's like, I don't need fucking helping, I know how to hold my breath, and then she's just like, look, and then boom. This is thalassophobia in a nutshell. This scene captures thalassophobia perfectly. Not specifically this frame right here, it's this frame right here. This frame is thalassophobia. This is all that I have to explain. If I want to explain thalassophobia, all I have to showcase people is this specific fucking 30-second video. All they have to see is, first of all, also if you hear the sound, look, the sound is glorious. Just the boat horn going on. And it just looking, not doing anything. This is why I don't want to go in the open ocean, because I don't want to see that. And it just fucking goes away. This when I first saw this is, I think this is a Netflix only thing. Glorious. This is that you can't get thalassophobia better than this. Specifically this. And I think the creepiest part about the scene is just how incredibly still Red is. Like, she's literally completely motionless. Like how a barracuda become cold. Okay, that doesn't matter. When at the sea land in the air, the most terrifying thing is to realize that the creature is looking at you and nothing else. The creepiest part is to know that not only being in the water with something that huge, but the fact that it's acknowledging that it sees you, then descends back into the deep. Imagine that you're at sea and something that huge is staring with you underwater. Never. I will never feel Subnautica like this again, and it's a shame. Subnautica is one of the best games I've ever played, and it's just such a fucking shame that I'll never be able to experience this feeling again. This fucking feeling. This fucking feeling is why Subnautica is one of the best games ever made to me. Because of this. And I'm so extremely fucking hyped for Subnautica 2. Although I do strongly believe that it's not going to be as good as Subnautica 1. Because I strongly believe that Subnautica 1 was a serendipity. Basically, it's just coincidence that it was such a good game. Because when you take a look at Below Zero, not nearly as good as the original Subnautica. It doesn't capture the omniscience, the obscurity, the terror, the sheer terror of Subnautica. This captures. This is perfect. Okay, that's my rant. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Christ, this is not a game you want to play in your own downtown. Space deep sea where you can see the thought of going insane. I like Stranded Deep, but it makes me really uncomfortable when I'm in the water knowing sharks are near. Yeah. Indeed, Frank. Indeed. My lord, that's a huge fuck. Okay. I believe the statement just made by the witness is profoundly important. But all she said was that she heard nothing. Yes, which is the profoundly important point. I'm almost sure of it. Almost. That's not good enough. I'm almost sure that I don't understand the inner workings of your Eastern Mind Council. What is this? Is this just bashing Asians? I think this series is made by a Japanese company as well. Is this just bashing yourself? I mean, it's solid. This is just racism. Yeah, the prosecutor on the opposite side also calls the main character Nipponese, or whatever the fuck that means. Miss Gina Lestrade, you will supplement your formal testimony by repeating the last statement, please. What supplements? What's you all about? I'm just here with my boss. Okay, don't give me all your fancy talk. I know what you're trying to do. Well, it won't work for me. Oh god, the Irish are coming out. Well, what's heavier? A kilogram of feathers or kilogram of steel? Okay. Do not let your inner... Let's turn... Let's go. Let's go. We got the new statement that we were looking for. Let's see what we can do. But okay, let fucking lend me a kilo of feathers or steel. That's a great skit. Fucking A. Okay. So you were straining to hear what was happening the entire time since the moment you hit yourself. Not exactly, no. Sorry? Well, there was no one in the cabin to start with. I could just push the cushion up and over, but just to see what was what. But then, when I saw the swell getting on, it got me down so he didn't notice me. And Mr. McGilden sat on the seat under which you were hiding, correct? Yeah, would you Adam and Eve in, eh? What a muck. So then all I could do was listen. I was waiting to jump out of there as soon as I heard them all leave, I see. Say, whatever. But what? Not likely. Even though we stopped there and there, I never heard the door open. So I just had to say, put and listen, and I'm driving his pigs to market, snoring like an old dog he was. He's like, what did you just say to me, you little skank? Why did you just say it doesn't add up? Because it doesn't fucking add up. It's clearly not with the facts. Huh? Yeah, fucking what? Keep your toupee on. For God's sake. You too. You're hot, not gonna lie. It seems my... Oh, wait, he was German, wasn't he? It seems my learned Nipponese friend is not as dull-witted as I feared. So Van Six realized it too. I want to fight on him. Counsel, I must insist that you bolster your claim with evidence, or some complicit party's name at the very least. Yes, my lord. I expect you to demonstrate this alleged contradiction to the court. According to Miss Lestrade, while she was hiding in the omnibus that night, she heard nothing but the sound of Mr. McGill snoring. But think, okay, think. There's something else she should have heard. The guy dying! And a particular sound that Miss Lestrade could not have felt on the night in question. Him. The victim.
Take that!
How can't you hear him? Price fired Mason. Why the fuck is that a nickname? Hey. Let's just say you're coming to a job interview, right? I mean, he was a skilled artist, so it doesn't matter. His skill probably takes pride over the fact that he got fired 3 times. But still, you get to a new job interview. First thing you say, my nickname, or the first thing they ask you, why are you called Price fired? Whatever. Yeah, I was fired. Price. What's the point? Yes, my lord, the sound I cannot fail to hear is that of the victim Mr. Mason boarding the omnibus. Explain your reasoning, counsel. Miss Lestrade, allow me to confirm something. You claimed earlier that you were the first person on board the omnibus, is that correct? Yeah, of course I was. I got on while the driver was in the pub, didn't I? And the next person to board the omnibus was Mr. McGill? There it was. Not a soul was in the cabin when I climbed aboard. At least not in plain sight. So you were, to all intents and purposes, alone in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus at that time. Did I not just say as much? I wasn't traveling with anyone else, if that's what you mean. Yeah, I saw him get on, remember? Try to crack on the seat cushion. He was out on his own, for sure. I don't know what. The Irish accent isn't coming to me sometimes. Sometimes it does. I need more kilogram of steel. And from what we've heard, the carriage made a number of stops, during which time did you hear the door opening or closing at all? Kilogram of steel. Nah, I never heard it. That's exactly what I was listening for. Weren't it? Waiting for this swell to leave. In which case, when and how did the victim end up in the carriage? We know that the victim collapsed inside the enclosed cabin in the omnibus, therefore, Miss Lestrade's statement about what she did, or did not hear, is at odds with the facts. Yes, this petty thief statement was clearly flawed. Lord Van Zieks. He knew all too well that there was an inconsistency in Miss Lestrade's statement. It would seem words of thanks are in order for my learned friend. What are you talking about? Well, if she didn't do it, then we're back to him. You have demonstrated matters impeccably. This witness and her colorful statements are entirely unreliable. Her words are convenient untruths. Nothing. Well, the thing is, we had two other statements from 2 other witnesses before, and they also lied. So, and now it's just that she's lying, that it's the droplet for you, the last drop. Now that makes 0 sense. She didn't even say anything. I didn't want to judge the dear little Mel just because he has some rather naughty ways. But I must say, I can't abide liars. And neither can I. Mr. Foreman, I didn't want to judge the girl because she has some less than salubrious ways. But I must say, I cannot abide liars. Okay, but why is he guilty then? Just because she's lying? I mean, everybody in this fucking game is lying, so how does that work? Well, your consideration for others is refreshing. my Nipponese friend. Okay. What is Nipponese? I swear to God, I am going to look this up. Nipponese. Oh, Japanese. Okay. Okay. We're back to racism now. Great. Thanks, game. Yes, very refreshing. Ach. Yeah, you're right. What are you playing at? Have you forgotten who you're working for, you useless Eastern Amadon? What the Amadon? Probably means amateur, right? A fool, an idiot, a clown. Okay, gotcha. I'm learning new English by the minute here, literally. This is carnage, it's perfect. Why are you licking your... Why does he have a knife in a goddamn courtroom? Also, why do you have your maid out? You know what? Don't question the inconsistencies, or the consistencies don't care. I couldn't care for less either in this game as well, so... The only one left. It's not this the way this is going. I know, if we can't find some new way to convince everyone of Mr. McGilder's innocence, the judge will rule we have lost. Well, we had everybody unguilty now. I want to believe the words of one of London's most respected gentlemen. But those of us in service know we must accept our truths. They were all on not guilty just now. And we could have just ended it there, but instead, Karma came in, and now before the 6 juror says guilty. So basically, what we're doing is when everybody is saying not guilty, they still have a chance. But when before the chance of the fact that every juror says you're guilty, it's the opposite. Fucking weird, man. If we consider the possibility that her statement is in fact the truth, it may shed an entirely new light on the whole case. What are you saying? What are you saying? Counsel... Okay, I'm not gonna scream. I'm sorry, sir. Whatever do you mean? Counsel, I will not tolerate you attempting to prorogue my adjudication. Explain yourself at once. When the accused boarded the omnibus on the night in question, the victim was nowhere to be seen. Subsequently, the carriage was not heard opening a single time, as testified by the witness in the stand. Yet the victim's warm body was found inside the carriage. If this petty thief's words are to be believed, how do you explain the victim's miraculous appearance inside the cabin of the omnibus? Via the top, because if the side entrance didn't open, must be the top. There's only one way to explain how the victim came to be inside the carriage. There's only 2 ways. There's another entrance. Duh. If the door wasn't open even once, the only explanation is that the victim entered the enclosed cabin some other way. There's only 2 ways, buddies. There's no going through the ass. There's no rectal exam whatsoever. I've wondered what new fantasy you would come up with in your blind panic. But behold, the omnibus is here for all to see. Only one side of the enclosed cabin is furnished with a door, the other one only has windows. Fixed windows, which cannot possibly open, in short. There's no entrance to the cabin other than the door. You're a moron, aren't you? But there could be. There's one possibility you haven't considered. Oh, really? Yes, one other way inside it isn't the door. Another opening, which is your asshole. Okay. Alright, counsel. The defense will identify the location for the court. What do you think? Could it be up front? No, because the guy's sitting here. This seems like a hella small feat. No wonder everybody's sitting here, because there's no feet. There's no room for feet here. Like, my feet wouldn't be able to sit here, probably. Properly. I need to present this, because this is the entrance we're looking for. Yes, take that. The answer's obvious. It can only have been the skylight. Keep your toupee on.
Objection.
Your ludicrous proposal almost has me lost for words. The skylight may well be large enough for someone to pass through. So you claim, but do you have a shred of evidence to support your addle-brained theory? Both Mr. McGill and Miss Lestrade said the same in their testimonies. They each claimed to have heard a loud thud, such as the noise made by someone falling to the floor. Yes, which has already been explained. As the sound of the victim falling from his seat having been assaulted with a dagger. Yes, it has, but would a man slipping from the seat onto the floor really have made such a loud noise? No, he probably fell from the skylight, which means that he was up there. A noise loud enough to cause Miss Lestrade to let out an involuntary cry, in fact? Good gracious. This is just circumstantial. There's nothing really... There's no real facts. This is just, hey, what if? That moment that the victim made his entrance into the cabin. No, let me rephrase that. The victim didn't enter the cabin as such. He fell into it. Exactly. You are now suggesting that the victim fell from the skylight into the cabin? That's simply impossible. Why? Because if the victim had fallen inside through the skylight, as you say, the passengers on the roof deck would have seen it happen. Unless... they're corroborating for something else. And yet not vampires mates. Those other two lied anyway, so... we can call those into question. Might a humble fella make a weak harmony? Mr. McGilbert? To be sure now, the two fellas who were sat on the roof testified before said nothing of the victim falling through the skylight. But it seems to me, my lord, that this is not so much a case of them not saying, but... aye. In this case, I'm being unable to say. I think perhaps the two fellas do be having something of a compelling reason not to mention what happened. Would you not agree, fine ladies and gentlemen of the jury? Oh my goodness, surely not. Those two chaps on the roof? She'd just be typing. One was stuck the knife in the middle one. Why is she still knitting a... what? Is that a sweater? I would just like to say, this guy's called Bruce Fairplay and the other guy's called Lady First. Just what exactly are you insinuating, you blitterer? Urata, he said. Urata, what are you insinuating? This is a flaming outrage. I've a good mind to give you a blink in a minute. I'll be honest, I don't want to mess with a guy that looks like that. I'll just be going the other way. Or perhaps just bring a gun to a knife fight. He'll give you a shot in the shine in a minute, he said, and so will I. Mr. Fairplay, you're effectively accusing me, a city gentleman and a well-respected banker. You had a loan standing out with the guy, so... and me, a very, very angry hatter. Suggesting that someone like me could have stabbed that man in the guts. It's a disgrace. It's scandalous. It's... I protest in the strongest possible terms. That's right, I protest too about you rotten scoundrel. Oh, this is going great. This is not the time, witnesses. I will not permit this wanton invasion of the stand. Return to the anteroom at once. But this is beyond reason, my lord. It's outrageous. It's very hurtful, you know. My lord, if I may comment. Go ahead, Lord Van Zieks. It was this offense that incited this outburst from the witnesses. My learned friend has seen fit to bend on all protocol and accuse the witnesses without proof. Well, I mean, there's only circumstantial proof that my defendant did it as well, so what do you want from me? If everything is circumstantial, we can literally say anything. It seems, young Nipponese, that your command of the English tongue is... whatever. You propose this court that the victim fell through the skylight from the roof deck of the omnibus. That hypothesis cannot possibly stand without the rooftop passengers being aware of the events. You have branded these gentlemen liars. You have intimated their criminal guilt. In our British courts of law, that's what's considered a baseless accusation. I like how I have a German accent for somebody who's supposedly English. You can't just dismiss it without a second thought. Would I always get them to testify? I thought there was something fishy about that from the moment I laid eyes on the fellow. We have to see this matter through now, one way or another. If there's filth and rubbish in our midst, we must dispose of it. Oh, because she's a maid. Oh, that's cool. You know, clean, 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 clean. Okay, gotcha. I think they want us to testify. Or them to testify, I'm sorry. You'll take the stand again and make another formal testimony if in reference to the indictment. I didn't come here for this. There's no time to think this through. All I can do is keep pushing forward. Let's go! Refuting the accusation. We were not open, dead or alive, I can swear to that. If anything had happened there when we were sitting, you'd think one of us would have noticed. Unless you two were corroborating this whole shit. In any case, neither of us know the thing about the victim with no reason to kill them. The Skylar was shot the entire time, I tell you. I swear to fucking God, I want to put this man in a cannon and just beam him to the other side of the galaxy. Where's your proof? Well, he does have a very compelling argument there. Where's your proof? But then again, where's your proof that our guy did it? So, yeah, I mean, it's circumstantial at best. Now, either witnesses could have performed any malevolent act on this open rooftop deck without the other noticing forthwith. We're innocent, I tell you. Although logically, of course, the argument falls down in the two in collusion with one another. Yeah, exactly. According to investigation by Scotland Yard, the two witnesses share no common dealings. Well, I don't trust coppers any more than I trust the stinking rich. Well, that actually makes sense. That guy's based as hell. The trial is going in our favor, really. I don't trust the rich, and I don't trust the police. First, based. All cops are best. Okay, shut up. All cops are based. ACAP. Refuting the accusation. I only have 2 tries left for this. Oh, that's annoying. Yeah, when we were still sitting, don't you think one or the other would have... Yes. But she already said that in any case, neither of us know the first thing about the victim. We had no reason to kill the man. Yeah, but still, you had a loan for Mr. McGilded, which means... You had a loan from the guy that I'm currently representing, okay? So the guy that's being accused of the murder right now. So you do have a reason to kill him and then make Mr. McGilded look like the perpetrator here. Which means I'm going to press the living shit out of you. Hello. You never met the man before, he said never. And you, Mr. First, had no prior dealings with the victim either? Outlaws don't have much to do with brickmakers, to be perfectly honest. I imagine not. You see, how many different ways can I put this? Neither of us have the remotest connection to the gentlemen who were inside the cabin.
Excuse me.
Mr. McGilded. Yes, counsel? What can I be doing here for? Did the witness last statement give you pause for thought somehow? That remotest connection, is that right now? I wonder. What are you insinuating now? Oh, Mr. Fairplay, it has been too long, so it has. Eh? If I'm not very much mistaken, I believe this fast approach and is it not your repayment date? I beg your pardon. Exactly. He said alone. You borrowed 20 guineas from me, sir. At an unconscionable rate of interest, you tricked me. It's extortion. Well now, is that a touch of begrudgery, is it? That sort of begrudgery that might motivate a fellow to pass his crime off to another. And young Mr. First. You do be making hats for a living, do you not? That top hat slide on your head, is that one of your own creations? Oh well, it's still just an apprentice, you understand? I'm learning... Oh, I'm still... Okay, I'm learning to find the perfect fit for whatever finds you and walks through the door. The perfect fit, is it? Well, it is a very distinctive design, so it is. Many customers like it, I tell you. They like a distinctive touch. Customers such as Fry's Vice Mason? Yeah, should have led with that, probably. There was a photograph print of the victim submitted as evidence, my lord. Yeah, he had a hat on. Look at that fine hat. Don't bother with the knife, just... This is why all cops are based. Because they make good, compelling photos. Aye, that it is. So it would seem the brickmaker was a customer of yours. And there's the connection. The sort of customer at a wager you can have a wee quarrel with over the distinctive weakness of the goods. Oh no, sir. Absolutely not, sir. Well, there's really nothing more to add. I wouldn't be right to say that the two fellas here have an remotest connection to the victim, you see. I rest my case. Perfect. He's better at this than I am. I did this myself as well. Before he did. Please don't meddle in the proceedings. Headhunter. For God's sake. Skylight was shut the first time, I'll tell you. We could possibly have opened it. Is that so? Depends on how it opens, right? I mean, the skylight could open from the inside and outside at the same time. Or shut the entire time. I'm going to lose my block with you in a minute. They are literally trying to intimidate an attorney. This is literally something you can go to jail for in the UK. But okay, this is 1928. What do I know? Take a look for yourself. Go on. It's shut fast now, just like it was on the night. So it is, of course, a fellow the size of Mr. Mason could likely break through the seal and all. Just looking at the size of the thing, you understand. They all the size of the thing means nothing. So let's consider the bigger picture, shall we? Yeah, what are you biting your cane for? I was riding the omnibus on another occasion when... Well, I broke wind loudly. I shook myself with it, as it happens. Did he fart? Well, the point is, I tried to open the skylight, you see. But just my luck, I couldn't make it budge. The stench was terrible. Okay, so his confession is that he farted. What the fuck? You expect me to sentence you? Yes. You fart, you go to jail. The new you laugh, you lose. I tried and tried when I was inside that cabin of shame. Wait, you just... When I was inside that cabin of... He just said he wasn't... You fart, you go to jail. You do not go... do not go past that, you will not get $200. He said he was on top. Why is he in the middle? What?
Excuse me.
Do you have something to say about that, Miss Lestrade? Oh, for God's sake. Okay. Hold up. A kilogram of steel, it opens. Yeah, so usually what people do is, basically training their voice a little bit. What I need to do, my training for my Irish accent is a kilogram of steel, a kilogram of feathers. Kilogram of steel, the skylight. That is what we're talking about, right? Oh, so for God's sake. All them skylights open that easy. That's a lie, I tell you. Otherwise, when I blow wind, You can't do it from inside, you mug. Oh. Look, a few weeks ago, I was up on the roof deck on one of them drags. And I had a great haul. I mean, I had purses coming out of my ears. Miss Lestrade, this is not the forum to be on the subjects of your criminal activities. Well, anyway, I do it all scare. When I lifted the last bloke's purse, he got away to me. All full of them surrounded me, so I couldn't hop off the bus and leg it. So what did I was? I used the skylight, opened that catch and jumped right through. Yeah, the catch for them skylights is on the top side. That's why you can't open them from the cabin. Yeah, and if he fell, that means that somebody from the outside must have opened it, so... You can see the handle right there, so... Boom. See? Why are you standing there with a gun? Why are people allowed with all sorts of random shit? I mean, in the first episode there was like what was it? A swan on top of one of the women. So it appears that street girls, what does she have a gun? Yeah, exactly. It's a smoke gun, but still. She has used it on the judge as well. So I don't know what to think of this game anymore. This could be the clue we've been looking for. Oh, did we? Hold up, what did it? Of course they are. Okay, what I want to do is I want to go to history. No, that's not it. Options? Catch for the scarlet is on the top side. Yes, but it's not fastened at the moment, so we can slide open from here. Okay. And there's your evidence. That's blood. Because he fell through the fucking window. We had this conversation already like 20 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago, 40. Okay. This is the evidence that we need. Where's your proof? Well, do I have something for you?
Objection.
On the night in question, the victim was fatally stabbed in the stomach. and immediately afterwards the victim's body was pushed through the skylight into the cabin. Those are the facts, and the irrefutable proof remains clearly visible in the omnibus that stand before us in this very courtroom. That's utter humbug! You can't possibly have any evidence. No, you can't. I mean, we didn't do it, I tell you. Oh, he's getting ready to scooch again. Irrefutable proof. Here in this courtroom. Should have looked better. Thought they, I thought Scotland Yard looked at everything from top to bottom, but okay. Frank, do you like the fact that Naomi actually chose Ace Attorney? Naomi chose the 3 options for this poll, and she chose Ace Attorney. And we had this conversation like a week ago, so I'm surprised that this is actually, it's literally just coincidence. I like this game. You horny for the judge, aren't you? I believe everybody would appreciate a little clarification here. If you just take a look in fucking sight. Just take a look in fucking sight. Yeet. I would like to thank everybody who voted for the... This was actually... there's a new record on this poll. Because it was 14 votes in total, but there's a lot of people who actually voted for... I think Rick voted twice or 3 times. Naomi voted for all of them because she actually did it, and there's somebody else who voted 3 times, so... Or 2 times. I don't know. I'm gonna present that. By Jupiter, is that blood? You're fucked. Well, in a sense. In a Discord poll. No. It actually says so. It actually says so. In the Discord poll, multiple votes are allowed. And secondly, the victim was already bleeding when he fell through the opening. And so it follows that Mr. McGillis, who was inside the enclosed cabin himself at the time, cannot possibly be guilty of the crime. No.
Hold it.
I just sprayed up there when the fellow was stabbed inside the cabin. Oh, is that how it works on? Only fun is when that one particular spot on the skylight? Sure, that would be very convenient. And let's keep in mind that the skylight can catch the only one threats from the roof deck. Yeah, from the top. I myself wouldn't have been able to open it now, would I? And you were asleep. There's no way to know for certain, is there, if the gent really... if the gent really fell through the skylight. Why don't we have a good look at the floor cabin between... Oh. It's all too plain if you see there's the aftermath that shows the poor fella dropped from a fair height there, so it is.
Hold it.
Oh. I think we can all agree that this is clear proof of the defendant's innocence. Why is he allowed a knife in court? I was not who that gave the light bulb bar couldn't have done such a thing. Fuck's sake, woman!
Objection.
Oh, what's he coming with now? A chilling performance, Mr. McGildet. What you be referring to there now, Lord Van Zieks? A bloodstain on the frame of the skylight, such evidence is null and void. Well... For one extremely simple reason. That smell of blood never existed. What are you talking about? It's their fault to see and it's clearly blood.
Objection.
I personally attended Scotland Yard's investigation of the omnibus. The officers involved went over the carriage with a fine-tooth comb. So somebody's framing him. So I can say that with absolute surety. No such smear of blood existed in the carriage. At least not a... Well, the thing is... If somebody indeed is playing with the omnibus evidence, then that means that this is clearly a mistrial because nobody knows what the clear evidence is. Which means that this trial has to be done for either way. Because there are multiple things at stake here. I mean, it's cool that he's going this way, but my biggest question would be like, why? Because I understand, you know? I understand if it could be fabricated, sure. But if that's the case, then this is a mistrial straight away. I'm letting it go, by the way. I still have 10 minutes. I hope I can end this before 10 minutes, but it doesn't seem like it. You're very adept when it comes to avoid getting your own hands dirty. And each time it happens that the case you're involved in is investigated, you adapt the facts. Adapt the facts, what does that even mean? Or he just changes it to the way he likes. Adapting is not a hard word. When you will the fortune decide, Mr. McGill, that tampering with evidence, manipulating the scene of a crime, bribing witnesses... I toast your ability to concoct the most convenient... Oh, for fuck's sake, it goes a little bit too fast. Tut, Lord Vincent, this was not due to be sure. Will it now, Counsel? Hmm? Oh, no. I think it's fair to say this does not all sound like a rather far-fetched excuse by a desperate man. The blood on the skylight didn't exist, you say? But if you all cast your minds back, is it not true that the omnibus there has been in the courtroom the entire time? So how could anyone have possibly smeared blood on? Isn't that right? Well, there was a smoke bomb going off 2 hours ago, so that could have something. My learned friend. Here's to hearing your opinion on this matter, in your own words. Could someone have tempered? It could have been possible because of the smoke bomb. But I'm also thinking, okay, so there's this little thing that's actually gauging my eye here. This guy was stabbed here. The current theory is that he fell through the skylight, and there was a pool of blood on the floor. And there also was a smear of blood on the skylight itself. How is that knife still in his fucking stomach if that's the case? Because he would have grazed the skylight with his wound together with the knife in it, and he would have also fell knife first with his stomach after it, like so, on the floor. How is that knife still in there the way it is? Because it was just like this, the handle's still out, nothing. Okay, that's the current theory just doesn't make any sense. Sex whatsoever. Sense. I know it's sense. Shut up. In terms of having the opportunity to carry out the alleged tampering, there is one possibility. Good gracious, explain yourself, Counsel. Basically, the theory doesn't make any sense if you take a look at the knife just being in there without any movement whatsoever the way he fell. It seems my learned Nipponese friend has no intention of running from the seat. The seat. I'm sure everyone still remembers clearly. Makes perfect sense for a game, huh? The recess that we were forced to take. As a result of the smoke grenade fired by the witness currently in the stand, Miss Gina Lestrade. What is going on? I can autoplay this because I've already seen this. All of us were made to leave this chamber. Yep, that's exactly when somebody could have fucked it over. All the smoking and all the chaos. It could have been possible to steal inside the omnibus. To steal. What are you trying to pull, you rotten, reckless gouger? Reckless gouger? Even I don't know what that means. You're supposed to be the fat of me. There's a wicked plot. There's a wicked plan to undermine me, so it is. Well, if he goes to jail, then it doesn't matter. Whatever you think it is, it changes nothing. The facts are the same. After this courtroom was evacuated earlier as a result of the smoke grenade, a number of inconsistencies materialized in relation to the omnibus. Inconsistencies? Such as? Oh, here we go. The storage compartment being empty. Yeah, somebody is fabricating evidence, but that's the thing. If that's the case, if somebody... This is a mistrial straight away. Because there's no point. We don't know what the original evidence is anymore. Because everybody's saying something else. And that's exactly what I've been saying all along. This should be a mistrial straight away, for what I can recall. There's not a single person who saw. What do you think? What do I think about the omnibus? I have an inkling. If you dare betray me a little, Maggie, you better start watching your ass. Silence, McGilded. The court awaits the defense's clarification. What is the problem? It's the fucking shit stain on the floor. People. Let's present this first. If we consider that the victim fell through the skylight, from the cabin, I'm kind of looking for the right time to do so, but I have a feeling that I know where this is going, because I've said this like 10 times already. I still have 2 minutes left, and I'll let everything conclude the way it is right now. But by the looks of it, this is going to be a mistrial. Because of the fabricated evidence. Nobody knows exactly what the evidence is that it has been fabricated and whatnot, which means that everything could be fabricated. And That's what I think is happening here. That it's going to a mistrial. I believe the blood on the floor is a decisive piece of evidence. But if the question is whether the evidence is genuine, or whether it was unlawfully fabricated by someone, I feel compelled to admit that there's at least a possibility that the evidence is fake. Exactly, and because of the fact that we don't know which evidence is real and which evidence isn't, we cannot be certain as to if he did it, or if she did it, or if those two did it. The thing is, the jury has to be unanimous. And if they are not about the verdict, then it will be declared a mistrial and he's free to go either way. What people think they saw, it is all nonsense. Facts are what counts, and the fact is that bloodstain is there. It is. It is now, yeah. I'll let this go. Because I'll look back at this. I gotta go walk the dogs. But people, I would like to thank you all so much for watching. Keep looking at this. It's gonna play out, and this is the end of chapter 3 by the looks of it. This is gonna be a mistrial. That's what I can tell, probably. So take a close look, and I will see you all in 2025. So. Stream keeps on going. It just does that, keeps doing that, and until next year, yeah. Keep looking, keep reading. It's on autoplay, so I don't think there's anything else I have to do because I'm looking at the walkthrough right here, and it says it's gonna be a mistrial, so I don't have to do anything. But that's what I've been figuring all along, that it was going to be a mistrial ever since I saw the fabricated evidence. So yeah, there's nothing else I can say. It's just fabricated. And in regards to that, there's no way we can tell which evidence isn't fabricated and which isn't. So it's both a possibility, which means that we cannot agree or disagree on whether this is going to be a guilty verdict or not. So yeah, that's my take on it. That's probably also what's going to happen. Have fun with this is all I would say. People, for now, keep watching, and I will see you in 2025. Bye-bye.